Hey, what's up, y'all? Wanted to do a quick video to help you all understand the steps to create a trade request. All right, so I'm gonna keep this video extremely short. Any questions, just feel free to DM me and then I'll explain or elaborate on anything else later. But I just want to get you all started so you can play around with this feature. So before you do anything, make sure you're in the appropriate channel, okay? Make sure you're in the trade room channel. All right, I'll demonstrate the rest of these at some other point. For now, trade room, or we're going to just learn how to do a trade request step by step. All right, so I already created one for demo purposes, but here's how we begin. You simply use the / in the message field. It's going to bring up a whole bunch of commands, all of which you can ignore. Ignore all of this stuff. Just start to simply type the transaction you're interested in. If it's a trade, start typing trade. If it's a giveaway, auction, so forth. All right, so you simply really only need to type like the first 2 or 3 letters. So let's do that. Boom. It's going to give us the options that we're looking for or that's associated with that particular transaction. In this case, trade, we only have 2 options. You can do a trade add standard or a trade add request. They seem the same, but they are unique, right? One is where you can list an item you are searching for. The other one is where you specify what you have to offer and what you want in return. So you have a few options here. The default is offering and accepting, but there's 11 additional options, okay? Now, I did require or make required 2 additional fields. That's category and subcategory, and I'll tell you why. We need a way to simply identify what's PPM related and non-PPM related, okay? We discussed this in the meeting. So I think this is the best way. This is the fields that we can use to specify that. So category would either be one of 2, PPM or non-PPM. You can just simply say that, PPM or non-PPM. And I think that's just that. Now, subcategory, we might find a use case for that. But for now, you can just put NA because it's still required. So you got to put something in there. But the other fields are still optional. But I would get in the habit of adding the description and owner. And if you want to create an image, okay? But the message, we'll talk about that. So let's go ahead and select this one. Now, once we create a trade request, what I want you all to do is play around with creating the request as well as claiming the request, okay? For example, J Money and Joemi, since the 2 of you are the 2 of you will be able to do this, right? So you'll be able to create a request and play around with claiming each other's requests because you're in the same vicinity, the same household. But everyone else, if just go ahead and start putting or creating trade requests and trying to claim the request of someone else. Like someone can claim my request if you want to see what it looks like for a member when they claim someone's request. Now, the expectation, you should receive a DM, a direct message saying thank you, basically. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to demonstrate this by selecting this. I'm not going to create the request. I'm just going to demonstrate, kind of filling out some of these fields and adding some of these required fields, right? So let's click on it. Boom. Now, if you're on a mobile device, the UI or user interface might look different. All right. So never worry. Just reach out to me if you run into any problems or have any questions, but you might be able to figure it out. But let me know if you can. Okay. So remember, we have the default fields here, offering and accepting, but we need to add subcategory and category. Now, when you pull these up, all I did was clicked on it. On the mobile device, you should just be able to tap on this part. Doesn't look like it's like a hyperlink or anything like that, but just tap on it. If you're on a laptop or desktop, just click on it. And you'll get this interface. So We need to add the required fields, category and subcategory, and it's giving us an idea of what these fields are for, what these options are for. But do not limit your imagination based on these descriptions, okay? And what I mean by that is, when I was looking for this feature, when I found it, it didn't say what use cases or edge cases I could use this for. I was just thinking creatively to identify what problems we're trying to solve, which is low member activity, low engagement, low contribution, low participation, and trying to find the best way to engage our members to enhance that their engagement. All right, so I found this, was like, oh yeah, let me get creative with this. So yeah, just think creatively, think outside the box. Don't limit yourself. All right, so here we go. I'm going to add category. As we mentioned, this is required. I'm going to add subcategory. Now, you may not know what to put in subcategory. We may figure out the best way to utilize this field later, but for now, just add NA. Category, remember I mentioned we're going to say it's either PPM or non-PPM. So let's just say non-PPM. Now, what are we offering? I'm offering $30. Oops. $30 for a list of VAs. Now, I'm not going to create this. I just want to demonstrate what it looks like completing these fields. I already created this for demo purposes. What am I trading for? $30 for a list of VAs. I actually duplicated this. Well, not duplicated, but I added this in the offering field, $30 for a list of VAs. So I stated this out. I typed this out here, but I'm shortening it now for demo purposes. Just put $30 and then accepting a list of VAs. So in the trading for, it's going to appear as trading for here in the transaction or in the request, but it's actually under this field. This is the actual label, accepting, but it's going to change to trading for and put what you add here. Okay, so don't be confused by that if you didn't immediately see that correlation. So I wanted to point that out. Now, category non-PPM versus PPM. Now, you're not going to see that here, but it's there. Okay. And let's see. The other thing was owner. Get in the habit of adding yourself as the owner. And there was one other thing, message. Here's where you can customize the message and say what you want to say to someone that claims your offering. So let's add that and let me demonstrate that. Hey, thanks. You know, something like that. And so when they claim the offer, right? When they claim the offer, they will get that message in their DM. It'll say, hey, you made this claim, and it'll say, hey, thanks, you know, from this owner. Okay. So that's how you create a trade request. Like I said, J Money and Joe Emmy, y'all have the ability to kind of play around and claim each other's requests. So do that and just get a feel for how it works. Everyone else, you'll need to add, like, go ahead and create like 2 requests so that each of us, there's 7. So think about if you added 2, then at least that gives someone else the opportunity to go in and claim, you know, your 2 people the ability to claim, you know, your message. I mean, your request. And so they can also see the message for the trade request once they claim it. All right. So any questions, feel free to DM me. I hope this helps. I'll make some more demos just like this for the other features for Discord. All right. So till the next video. Later.